within the office, I just wasn't happy. I just wasn't happy. And I know many of us are sitting in that at your job, or maybe you just got off work and you're watching this, you're listening to this, and you're feeling stuck, or you're just feeling like there's no way out. Believe me, I felt that way too. And there is a way out. Welcome back to Transaction Care. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily. And we are back with a monthly check-in video. I like to drop these once a month just for us to pause, reset, reflect. Whether you're new here or if you've been subscribed, I think it's important that throughout all the content that we focus on, real estate, business, mindset is always the most important out of everything. Because if we're not good, everything else suffers. Give ourselves a chance to be okay, to make sure we're okay, because life goes so quickly and the year comes and goes and we're still on that same hamster wheel. And I had to check myself regarding this as well, because I was reflecting on the past year and the past few months and just realizing, well, I got into certain situations because, one, choice. Everyone has a choice. Decisions are decisions. Consequences are a consequence, but we can't control the outcome of everything or everyone or how things are going to play out. I've had transactions where the day of closing, it fell out of escrow, and I just had to take that money that I was already low-key spending in my head and figure it out from there. And if it meant I fell behind in my bills, it meant I fell behind in my bills. Was I okay? I was not. In those moments, I was not. But once I gathered myself after having my moment, I feel the feels, I realized that I had gotten too comfortable. And it's not to say that we shouldn't experience comfort, but if you're someone like myself that is very ambitious, that wants to achieve new things and get to newer heights in life, I often find myself staying in a place of comfort or complacency. 7 years ago, I quit my job, and that was the first time I'd ever made a real decision that I was actually proud of me for making. Before that, I had just been making all these decisions to please other people, to get the job done for others, helping others build their business. And there were so many moments in that process, and there were days where I'd be helping someone and I'd wonder, they're doing the bare minimum and getting such a big financial reward. Am I missing something? Is there something I'm not doing that were there steps I could have skipped? Am I not taking any steps? So being in that 9-to-5 space, I never really stopped to reevaluate my situation until life got real. And oftentimes God will just yank us out of a situation or put us in a situation where what we asked for is given to us, but maybe not in the way that we've envisioned. And I experienced so many people attacking me literally in real life, and within the office, I just wasn't happy. And I know many of us are sitting at your job, or maybe you just got off work and you're watching this, you're listening to this, and you're feeling stuck, or you're just feeling like there's no way out. Believe me, I felt that way too. And there is a way out, but you have to create that way for yourself and pray about it and create actionable steps. Now, it's not going to happen all overnight unless you say so. So if you say, I quit today, then you quit. Then you just got to figure it out at a more rapid pace. But sometimes if you grant yourself the grace and the time, you can actually create a bit of a foundation for yourself. Now, don't get stuck on the details and making everything perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. I knew I was ready to quit my job 7 years ago. Well, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. But my leap of faith took 2 years. So I had to finally just get serious and start changing the trajectory of my habits. Even though I was still afraid to say I quit, I'm leaving. I was like, well, what are some little things I can change now in the in-between? And I had to start with my mind and my habits. Something as simple as fixing your bed every morning, committing to that, reading books that I never read before about self-help and business. Podcasts were still brand new 10 years ago, but I was listening to them. I found every business I quit, every side hustle type of podcast that was out there, and there weren't many. Now there's a plethora, mine included. Shameless plug, visit thekeyspodcast.com to listen to my podcast. New episodes are coming soon, if not now. So, and just full transparency, I'm pre-recording a lot of these videos. So the timing of when they're released, it could be the fall, it could be the summer, but one of my biggest promises to myself was that I was going to get more consistent with YouTube and make sure I'm showing up and providing not just quality information, educational information, but also making sure I'm creating an environment and a community for people to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because I was in that dark tunnel for many, many years. I was very insecure. I had very little life experience and career experience. I only had one real job my entire life. I played sports before that, the 10 years prior. So I went from full-time athlete to full-time employee. And prior to that, things were just getting yanked away from me, that I just lived in this state of fear because I didn't want to get so close to something that I loved that it just got yanked away from me. So instead, I just self-sabotaged. And it has been quite the journey, not just in these last 7 years, but I also turned 40 last year. And everything just flipped on its head, like a complete 180. I was going down this path. I knew it didn't feel right. I knew it didn't. Things and people and choices I was making just didn't feel right in my soul. Didn't feel right in my intuition, in my gut, in my mind. And even when I would go to certain places, everything felt off. And once again, God yanked me out of that situation, which I'm still unpacking and figuring out, but I'm just so grateful. So again, this is a check-in video. I know it's turned into almost like a therapy session for me, but if you can relate, let me know, because right now I am in a season of just not doubting what I know is for me, and that conviction that I feel inside. Although everything from clients to financial stability, to relationships, to clothes, shoes, food, everything was stripped away and stripped down to the root, where I just had to face just face myself, where I messed up, where I felt I could have communicated better. Do I even want to fix anything that was taken away? And I'm at a place in my life where I'm just listening to God, point blank, period. And I landed there because I landed there. Thank God I landed there. Well, that's a bar. But truthfully, I hope that in this season of your life that you are able to just grant yourself the time and the space. Much like I'm sitting here right now, if this camera wasn't rolling, I would be saying these same things out loud or in my journal, doing Bible study. These are new things that I had to infuse and incorporate into my daily life and my daily walk because I wasn't doing them before. And I had to really just build my foundation. I think for many years I was building a home or a community on no foundation and just hoping it would stick, it would stay up, and then everything would crumble. And then I'd do it again, not learning my lesson, and then it would crumble. So now I'm in a place where I don't care how long it takes me to build this foundation. It needs to be the most sturdy foundation I've ever stepped foot on, that anyone will step foot on, that it's unbreakable, unshakable. And if it takes me this entire year, an entire month, weeks, I'm gonna do it. Because I've been going 40 years, for sure at least 20 years in my adulthood on a shaky foundation. So now I have to solidify it and make sure it's strong enough to endure what I'm already, what I'm about to experience in life, and just being ready for anything as best as possible. And that's because I've given myself and granted myself the time and space to think about these things, to evaluate these things, to understand these things, to question these things, to push back on, to remove these things. There's something I do every year, and this is the last point. And the reason I'm holding my glasses is because when I put them on, I actually can't even see myself on the screen. You could see the glare. See, I didn't even know I was talking for 11 minutes, but this is just a conversation between you and I. But there was something that I do. I'm just going to leave them on for the end of this vlog. If you're still here, thank you. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a comment. But there was something I do every single year for the last, I think, 3 years. I think this would have been my 4th year doing it. Anyway, I wasn't fully convinced about going. And I even delayed with responding. I think I responded to the email 2 weeks later, which is very unlike me. And I was like, I don't think I want to go, but I felt guilty that I didn't want to go because it was talking to college students and it was helping them and just sharing my business and my experience with my business and the things I've gone through. And I felt guilty not wanting to go. And finally, I also don't have a car, so getting 50 minutes away would have been a trek and cost a lot financially if I took a Lyft or an Uber. But I sat with it. I even, asked if I could borrow someone's car, and everyone was busy that day. So I said, you know what? I think I just have to take this one on the chin and face it and just not go. So I responded and I said I wasn't able to go, that, please still keep me in mind for future events because I really do want to help the youth. And I love helping my friend that I do help every year do this. And pray for the person coughing outside because he does this every single day. I don't know, I hope he's okay. But I didn't go. And even as I'm talking about it right now, which is why I always say you have to do the thing to get to the thing, is I didn't realize that the feeling I had originally felt is the feeling I should have listened to. But my guilt and overthinking overshadowed what I was already feeling. And now a bunch of memories are flooding my mind right now because I always think about the decisions I have made in life, good and bad, but the times that I ignored that initial, I don't want to go, this doesn't feel right. Yeah, I should have just listened, but enough of that. I will check in with you all next month, but until then, make sure you are subscribed because every week I release videos on real estate, business, and mindset to get you on the right track in your journey, as well as just making sure that, and reassuring you that we're all in this together. So I hope that resonates with you. And if it does, hit that subscribe button. And until the next video, you know the drill. Care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. let's coordinate. Talk soon. And don't forget to subscribe and watch these other videos that I have here. More content on transaction care here and on the way. And I'm at a place in my life where I'm just listening to God. Point blank, period. And I landed there because I landed there. Thank God I landed there. Well, that's a bar.